How can we be real men, attracting excellent women without being exploitive of or dependent on them? This is the life lesson we'll learn from the 9th star of Vedic Astrology, Pūrva Phalguṇī, the first fruit bearer. In this series, Life Lessons of the Vedic Nakshatra, we'll discover how life really works by exploring the 27 constellations through the mystical Sanskrit words of the Vedic Nakshatra Sutra. Hello world, welcome back to another installment of Life Lessons from the Vedic Nakshatras. These life lessons come from the Taittiriya Brahmana's Nakshatra Sutra, which I am translating and explaining, and I'm going to publish soon. So this week, let's learn about the lessons that we get from the 9th star, Pūrva Phalguṇī, which means the first fruit bearer, or the first fruitful one. And as always, let's begin by listening to the Sanskrit, the original language of the sutra, which I recorded with some of the students from the very first class that I did online on the Nakshatra Sutra. So here it is, the Sanskrit sutra.
Aryamnah Pūrve Phalguṇī Jaya Purasta Nishabho Vasta Aryamnah Pūrve Phalguṇī Jaya Purasta Nishabho Vasta
Aryamnah Pūrve Phalguṇī Jaya Purastat Shabho Vastat. The translation is the trustworthy man before the fruit giver needs a fertile woman to be a bull. So there is a trustworthy man standing before a fruit giver, a woman, a fruitful one, a fruit bearer. What does he need? He needs that fertile woman. Why? To be a bull, a Rishabha. So Pūrva Phalguṇī is a nakshatra, a star cluster that's all about how to be a real man. So what is the secret? How do you be a real man? The secret is in the first word of the sutra, Aryamnah. Aryamna means trustworthiness. If you want to be a real man and attract really excellent women, you really don't need to be good looking. You don't have to pluck your eyebrows or grow a beard. You don't have to even dress in the right clothes. You don't even have to be rich or have a good job. Though that last part is probably a sign that you are trustworthy and responsible. What you need to be is responsible and trustworthy. So if you say something, you mean it and you do it. If you're trustworthy, which means if you say you're going to be there at 5 o'clock, you're there at 5 o'clock. If you say you're going to be there at 4:30 in the morning, you're there at 4:30 in the morning. If you're trustworthy, women open up. They trust you. Then they become something called Jaya in Sanskrit. Jaya means productive, fertile. Now, one of the really interesting things about the sutra is that it's saying to be a man, you need a woman. The woman makes a man more of a man. And the next nakshatra is going to say that the man makes a woman more of a woman. The ability to keep a promise and be responsible and be trustworthy is actually the strongest thing that anybody can do. It's the most demanding. It takes the most physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual strength. So the planets that have that kind of strength to them, like Sun especially, Mars a bit, they indicate very good things when they're in this nakshatra. They indicate sexual confidence, or that confidence that's very sexually attractive, where you know that if you promise something, you can deliver on it. And you have a confidence to make a promise, therefore, to make an advance. Gentler planets in this nakshatra, they indicate lacking that male sexual potency. Lacking that bravery and an initiating ability to make an advance. So what usually happens with a female soft planet in Pūrva Phalguṇī is that you feel needy for the attention of the opposite sex. So everybody needs it, but you feel needy for it because you don't have the bravery and initiative to go out and conquest it and get it. So you just kind of like feel like, oh, I wish. And so it never gets off your mind because you're never even getting it. So this particular sutra, I feel, really almost has two life lessons that are super important. The first life lesson is that bulls, Rishabha, need a fertile field, Jaya, to make a productive farm, which means a man needs a woman to be successful as a man. Right? That's an important lesson. There are certainly some individuals who don't need the opposite sex. But speaking on a social scale, males need females, females need males. It's not that the males should stop being males and the females should stop being females and everybody should be the same. That won't make up a happy society. Men need to exist, women need to exist, and they need each other. And so this is very important for the kind of mutual respect that genders need to have for each other. The male needs to respect the fact that in order to be a man, he needs the support of a woman. If there's that respect, respect is also an important part of Aryamna. Our trustworthiness means that you respect the person to whom you've made the promise, and you respect the promise, the respectfulness, trustworthiness. Those are the real traits that a man has to have to be a successful man. So how about that? You learn two super important things just from getting a brief introduction to this sutra about Pūrva Phalguṇī. If you're a man, you just learned the most important thing to being an attractive man is to be able to make a promise and keep it. If you're a woman, you just realize that the thing you really need to look for in a man is their ability to make a promise and keep it. Things like the muscles and the job and the money are symptoms of the ability to make a promise and keep it. But don't get tricked by a symptom. Symptoms can be imitated. Actually look for the core quality, which is they keep whatever promise they make to you. Of course, nobody can always keep every single promise, but you find a man that really wants to keep their promises. Okay, great. Hope you enjoyed this installment of the life lessons from the Vedic stars. And stick around for next week's video because it's going to be on basically the exact same topic, but from the female point of view.
Don't miss the life lessons from the other 26 star clusters of Vedic astrology. Subscribe to my channel now. And keep your ears up for announcements about the release of this book and the next online classes about it. Thanks.